Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solutions radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, Rich Levinsky is going to be here with us talking about consultants in the workplace. And he's got a real interesting topic this evening. You'll certainly want to stay tuned to it. He's really good, especially with the new year upon us and that kind of thing. Really good. I'm going to start out every evening. I thought about this a lot over the past 3 weeks because I've been listening to a lot of audio tapes and reading books on gratitude. So I want to start out every evening with a moment to make you stop and think what you're grateful for. Just stop for a moment and think about one thing you're grateful for. Just one thing. Just one thing. We'll move this up to three things, but just think a moment about one thing you're grateful for. What are you grateful for? That's it. Just be grateful. Wanted to discuss this evening the ups and downs of a job search. I was listening to a podcast that Tony Robbins was giving, and I've been listening to Tony Robbins and reading his books for 20 years at least, back when he was really young, and I've gone through bouts of liking him and not liking him, and wondering about him and not wondering about him. For the past few years, I have become more attuned to the research that he's done, especially the research regarding uh, your health and the benefits of a lot of things, and the phenomenal research that he's done on health, and his book about health. It's pretty phenomenal. If you haven't read it, you should. But he was talking in this podcast about the cycles of seasons that we go through in the world and in life, and how summer comes and fall comes and winter comes and spring comes and then summer comes. And he was talking about actually in his lifespan when he was born, and the life that we've gone through in the past recent history, in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and how we went through as a country, as a world, um, the ups and downs of summer, winter, fall, and all of that. And I've heard that before, talking about the progress that we made after World War II, and what a winter World War II was like, and the progress we made after it, and the spring of that, and the summer of that, and the cycles that we go through are likened to the um, cycles of the uh, autumn and the winter, and all of the things that we have along that line. It made me think the same thing is true in your job search. If you are looking for a job full time, even if you're not looking for a job full time, and looking for a job while you have a job, it's like having two jobs. You're going to go through seasons, and the seasons of those job search is going to be pretty rough. You're going to go through moments and times where you think things are really going well, and it looks like you're going to get a job, and then you don't. Or you get a job and you find out it doesn't pan out to be really what you thought it was. Or you all of a sudden get a job. And it happened to a candidate of mine yesterday, and he was there about 3 weeks, and I didn't find him the job, and the company was sold, and he lost his job. And so there are going to be ups and downs, and you need to expect those seasons are going to come and go. there's always going to be a winner in your life. I just turned 76 the other day, and I look back on my life, and I realized that there were seasons. There were seasons in this profession. I'll give you an example. Um, Anybody in my profession that bills about $1 million a year is a pretty is in the upper 1% of the recruiters. And I do that pretty consistently. In 1999, I billed $4 million. And the reason I did was because high tech was on its rise, and there were lots of salespeople that were available to high tech companies, and I placed a whole lot of them. And boy, well, wow, it was really neat. Um, and of course, there was a part of me that thought that would never end. I knew in my heart that it was going to end, but I thought, wow, this is great. I mean, look at this, $4 million back in 1999. And now if I can do 1,000,002, 1,000,003, 1,000,004, I'm a pretty fortunate guy, and I am grateful for it. Well, that was a springtime for sure. It was a springtime. And then we had the dot bomb, and things died for recessions come along. And we went through winters, real winters. We had to borrow money. We had to do lots of things that we normally wouldn't have to do. And it was a winter time. Well, that was going to follow the spring. That's just the way it is. And then there were summer times, and then there were fall, and it's been that way in the 76 years that I have been on this earth. Well, think about your job search that way. There's going to be good times and there's going to be tough times. There's going to be difficult times. There's going to be good times. And if you see it that way and you realize you got to accept the good in the same way, you got to accept the rough parts in the same exact way that you accept the good times. Be grateful for the good times. Be grateful for the difficult times. Be grateful. We started out that way and we end that way. So don't hesitate to realize that you're going to go through the seasons of your job search. That's part of it. And you come out a better person if you look for it. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution.